Hi from me, Romy Stoch, and welcome to Derech Eretz, the way of the world. In today's show, Rabbi Weinberg explores the concept of social welfare. We visit a new initiative of Chabad of Strathaven in Johannesburg and spend a morning with the Cape Jewish seniors. Love and care for others is one of the basic foundations of the Torah. In Leviticus 19:18 it says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." From this stems the enormous mitzvah or commandment of helping those in distress, and consequently the mitzvah of tzedakah or charity for the poor, which one of the greatest rabbinic sages, Rabbi Akiva, believes is one of the most important commandments in the Torah. Rabbi Weinberg elaborates further.
Is my God bigger than your God? How do we decide whose force, whose divinity could be more powerful than the other? Well, the ancient way of figuring that out was quite simple. Who was more successful? Who was stronger? Which army was better equipped? Then clearly their God was mightier. We all know the story, the showdown between Moses and Pharaoh. We know how Moses stood there and demanded that, "So says God, let my people go." We know that Pharaoh rejected that. What we don't know is the deep theological underpinning that lay behind that very simple exchange. You see, Pharaoh was the leader of the world. He was the most powerful human being on earth. And so went the thinking of paganism. If he's the strongest, he must have the strongest gods. But Moses stood there alone and spoke a crazy idea, yet one that you and I take for granted, that God stands with the weaker, not the stronger. That God stands with the widow, with the orphan, with the poor. That God could be on the side of the slave Jews, not on the side of the mighty Pharaoh. Pharaoh's response was very reasonable. Pharaoh said, if he's so strong and he's your God, then why are you so weak? The answer, my friends, lies in the essential message of Derech Eretz. Respecting each and every single one around us. Because when we look around us, we will see a world of inequality. We will see those who have much less than us. And we will actually realize that there are many more of those who have less than those who have more than us. God stands with the weaker, and He wants us to stand with them too. The word for charity in Judaism, in Hebrew, is tzedakah, which does not mean charity or a handout. It means justice and righteousness. It is our obligation to take that which we have been given and to take from it to give to somebody else. This is the essential aspect of Derech Eretz. Appreciating that those who are around us become our responsibility to the degree that we are able to take such responsibility. We have been given gifts, whether they be gifts of finance, whether they be gifts of knowledge, whether they simply be the gift of the ability to smile. When we use that gift and share it with somebody else, we are showing them the requisite respect. We are showing them the Derech Eretz. For they were created in God's image just as we were. And they are as deserving as we are. So why doesn't God give it to them? Actually, He has. He gave it to us so that we could give it to them. He created an unequal society so that each one of us would need each other. And in this way come together, showing Derech Eretz to each and every single segment of our population and society. Reminds us of the famous words of Nelson Mandela, that a nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but by how it treats its lowest citizens. Showing them Derech Eretz, showing each and every one that we encounter kindness, a smile, care, compassion, and yes, assistance is the greatest and highest value in our Torah. It is a declaration that God stands with everybody. And indeed it is the highest act of Derech Eretz.
Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz.
While many strides have been made in bridging the social gap between people, more than 20 years into democracy, there is still a divide that exists in South Africa. Sandton-based Chabad of Strathaven has partnered with Grassroots Soccer in Alexandra with an eye to breaking down these barriers through the medium of fun and growing together.
Grassroots Soccer is an adolescent health program that focuses on inspiring, educating, and mobilizing young people to figure out their greatest health risks. Right? So we work in communities such as Alexandra. We work also in Cape Town, in Khayelitsha. We also work in Soweto here in Joburg.
We have a number of members of our community at Chabad of Strathaven who are very keen to involve themselves in a project of outreach within the addicts community, but the kind of project that would be sustainable from within that community itself. In other words, not to just come along and do a charity drive and drop things off, but something which would empower people, and that's how we came to the idea of a vegetable garden.
Basically, at Grassroots Soccer, we have life skills coaches, and then we have the staff members. So life skills coaches, they are also going to be involved within the gardening. And we're also going to have a couple of guys from the community who wants to join and be part of these great initiatives. So basically, we're hoping for a minimum of 20 people to come and help us to do the gardening.
We run a project or an organization called Build the Future, and we've been running for 11 years now. We've been working in many different grassroots environments, and they told me about this amazing project that they were doing where they were, in a sense, building bridges. So taking people from like a Sandton environment to Alex, and they wanted my help with planting some veggie gardens with the kids and building those bridges.
So for us as Grassroots Soccer, the food garden represents like the next meal for other people, especially here in Alex. A lot of people are underprivileged, so having a food garden where they can come and participate in helping raise the crops there and making sure that they take care of the garden themselves and they get the produce for free. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. We work in the community, so that for us, the community is what we're here for. So whatever that's for the community, we are for it as well.
So there's a foreman gardener on the property, and they've basically told me that they're going to be watering every day, and spinach is an amazing plant, amazing vegetable that you can basically grow all year round. And within the next 2 months, I'll be basically picking spinach leaves for the kids that come here and are involved in this grassroots soccer.
Most of the kids that are going to be beneficial in this garden will be kids that are from very underprivileged circumstances. So we meet these kids every day during our programs, and they have nothing to eat. They literally have nothing to eat. So this garden is going to be really beneficial for them because they will have something to take home at the end of the day.
I was digging to take this grass out. After that, we're taking these stones, where there are big stones here, and we throw them aside. So from there, we started making the beds. And then today we make to plant the vegetable.
I planted just one thing. It was the green things. And I put it in, and I thought it was very nice to plant. I thought it was so pretty.
I planted spinach, and I helped little kids dig, and I helped them take the roots off to put it inside that will grow nicely. And I liked planting the big spinach.
The kids are going to be involved in looking after the garden. Every day after school, they're going to come, make sure the garden's okay, make sure that the plants are watered and everything else.
A couple of months ago, our community, Chabad of Strathaven, we decided that we wanted to do some sort of outreach program. So there was two things that we thought would be great. One would be a vegetable garden, and just a fun day for the kids as well, just so we can attract our community and also have a great way to integrate Alexandra with the kids from Alex with our kids. The best way to do it is sport and fun, and sport breaks down those barriers. So we just thought that was a great avenue to use.
Soccer is a unifying factor. It unifies both rich, poor, black, white, whatever race it is. It brings everybody together.
We played soccer and we had fun, and I was a goalkeeper, and we went to penalties. We shot lots of goals, and they scored me three goals only then, but we lost more.
There was an orange team and a yellow team, and the orange won. Then we stopped.
I've watched quite some few games, and I think the kids are enjoying themselves, especially this age group. I can see they're really running around, and it's really exhilarating to see them being excited for such a great day.
We use it in our programmings because it brings the kids in. Because once you say soccer, everybody's interested, because soccer is soccer. It's the most common sport in the world. So it brings kids together, and it works for us.
Soccer is a great message for society at large. We can all collaborate together. Every person plays a different role, every person has a different position on the field, but the objective is the same. Let's get the ball into the same goals. And for us, that would be the goals of goodness and sharing and kindness and charity.
They've got all these preconceived ideas that it's a dangerous place to be, whatever it is, and you bring them in, and they don't even realize that they actually don't realize they're even in Alexandria half the time, and I think it opens a lot of people's eyes, and I think that's what the purpose of it was.
Playing soccer here, it was fun. Then I was centre back, but we went to penalties. I scored 1 goal.
I played left wing, and then we went to the penalties. I was keeper.
We brought some games that we like playing in Israel, and we played soccer here, and we did planting too, and it was fun.
I would like to thank you for supporting us, giving us lunch. And I would like to thank the learners for letting them playing soccer and for supporting us and letting us enjoy and having fun in the Football for Hope.
We do definitely see it as a long-term program because we're doing a vegetable garden. So the idea is a couple of months down the line, we come back, we see how the garden's going, and hopefully also bring the kids back again and let them play another match against, with the kids in the community. So most certainly, we also see, a lot of the guys are coming from our community are coming to Alex, and their eyes are opening for the first time, and they all saying, listen, what can we do?
The garden worked as like the bridge between the two communities, and now because there's a relationship there, so there's nothing stopping us from being ongoing and continuous, even with the grown-up kids and even with the parents themselves, because we need to understand where we're getting it wrong and where we can help each other so that we can bridge the gap and the divide between the two communities.
It's interesting, when people hear the term Derech Eretz, people assume that Derech Eretz means good manners or good behavior. But if you analyze it, you drill it down, Derech, the way of, Eretz, the earth. So Derech Eretz could also mean that which will sustain the world, that which will make the world a better place. So in plain simple terms, what that means is, instead of saying how we treat each other as a matter of our views and our opinion, we should be subscribing to the fact that there's a universal code of how we should treat each other, the Derech, that way of Eretz, of the world that we live in.
Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz.
The Cape Jewish Seniors Association's mission is to promote the interests and well-being of Jewish senior citizens other than those who are in institutional care. Under the leadership of Diana Soshin, the CJSA enables and empowers seniors to remain active and independent as part of and not apart from the community in which they live.
Cape Jewish Seniors was formed so that senior citizens, people who've retired, newly retired, or are in the community, A, don't have to be alone, They can always socialize and be with people. And the organization is to keep people as part of the community and not separate them and make them apart from the community.
In a sense, it's a really nice to have social club. It's keeping you involved, it's keeping you active, it's keeping you part of the community in which you live.
For a couple of years, it was only in Sea Point. And then people started to query and say, you know, they would like something their side. So they then started the Claremont branch. And then in 2002, they felt the need to go out to the West Coast side. And they opened a branch in Milnerton. And they're very active and they love it.
We offer a lot to them. We, in the Sea Point area, we're actually one of the biggest and busiest centers. And we've got yoga, we've got ageless grace classes, we've got other exercise classes, we have cards, they love their bridging kaluki. And then we also have different guest speakers coming to talk to the members. So we've got lots of activities to keep him occupied from 8:30 to 4:30.
Diana was the first time that the Cape Jewish Seniors has a director who hadn't had a social work background. Always it had been someone who had been a social worker and then directed the organization. And after quite a lot of workshopping, there are a lot of other qualities that you need other than those professional skills. It's about community work. It's being involved with the community work, keeping people involved, having the personality to engage with people.
Prior to coming here, I was the director of the South African Medical Alert Foundation, which was also an NGO. So I've really worked in NGOs and the public sector all my life and enjoyed being in the community. And also as my sort of hobby, I'm involved in Lions. So I've worked in the community and doing things with charity forever. And so I like being with people. I like interacting with people. I like seeing people enjoy themselves. I like people to have the best that they can possibly have. And I think that here I can make that happen. To the best of my ability, I can provide a program that gives people a good quality of life and gives them the opportunity to enjoy life to the fullest.
Diana had a background in community work. She'd been involved with several projects which really directly related to working with improvement and backup for the community. And she came with all those credentials. And she just impressed as a person that was a people's person. And I think that was a quality that we really appreciated. And she certainly has put her own stamp on the organization. It is going beyond just professional skills. And Diana herself then decided that she wanted to acquire social work skills as well, and then did her master's and continued her education. Although her background is nursing, community work, she took it further and did get involved with a program in social work as well.
For me, my greatest joy is seeing people come here or being part of the organization and really being and getting enjoyment out of life. It pains me when I hear of someone holed up in their flat because they think they can't get here, or they're too scared to go out, or they don't think that they'll fit in, because they don't really know what it's like until they come and enjoy it. And 99% of the people who come here say, we didn't know it was like this.
They're usually quite scared to come, and usually I've got to go in and try and convince them. I take the newsletter and I sit with them and say, now, doesn't that outing look interesting? Or doesn't this speaker, like, really, don't you want to hear what that person has to say? It's an upward battle when I first go in, but afterwards when they come, they enjoy it. It's their routine when they come. And if we close like we are now for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've had phone calls to say, when can I come? What activities am I missing out on? And I've got to reassure them, you're not missing out on anything. It's okay. I'll see you on Thursday. So it's very important for them to get out and to be socializing. Main aspect is socializing here with others here at the center.
In fact, one of the things that we have found is that quite a lot of people have semigrated from Johannesburg down to Cape Town. And one of their ways of becoming socialized in the new area they're in is by belonging to the organization and finding new friends and finding their feet in Cape Town via the organization.
Lots of people, lots of the oldies, they don't got family here. So what are we? I'm like their mommy here. I am the mommy. Like if they are naughty, I do reprimand them, but with love. And then it's back to normal. Just my old loving self. And I just love to see the pleasure on their faces whenever I make something for them. I make it with love because it's like my grannies. And for me, when somebody, an elderly lady come into this place, she mustn't like feel that, no, this is just some center she's coming to. She must feel that she's coming to her home. When she step in here, she must feel loved. That is actually my main aim for the center.
Diana has incredible people skills because she really is interested in people. There's a personal commitment, there's an honesty, there's an authenticity in her as a person. She gets to know people, she's interested in them. And I think that is something that permeates the whole organization. If you see how incredible the team works, it's not about Diana only, she works very closely with her team. For instance, every single Friday morning, they meet to discuss casework, to meet to discuss all sorts of things relating to the problems, the activities, the challenges that they might meet. And there's an incredible spirit and commitment to making life better for seniors in the community.
Always ask every member when she comes in, are you okay? Is everything okay at home? She genuinely wants to know if they're okay. So I think that also gives the seniors a peace of mind that, you know, the boss does care about us. The big lady does care about us, which is nice.
The values are based on recognizing the fact that the older community should not be forgotten. There's that very famous Nelson Mandela saying that you can judge the quality of a community by the way it treats its senior citizens. And I think it's a huge tribute to Cape Town that we have an organization which is active, involved with the community in this incredibly important way.
Okay, so Derech Eretz to me is that one should be a mensch, you should have integrity, always treat others as though you'd like them to treat yourself, and just generally giving of your best to people at all times.
In 1868, Benjamin Disraeli, the then Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was quoted as saying, "Power has only one duty, to secure the social welfare of the people." If you have missed any of our past episodes of Derech Eretz, you will be able to watch them on our Derech Eretz Connect YouTube channel. From me, Romy Stoch, and the Derech Eretz team, remember that it is through our actions that we can promote general welfare and happiness.